Hi, and hello to AlexieAaron.com fans and readers. I am interviewing Alexie Aaron today with your questions and some of my own. Get to the bottom of some things. So, Alexie, here she is.
Hello.
And basically, we have a couple questions. I'll start off with some easy softball questions to kind of get everything going. So, no pressure, but the first question off everyone's mind is, when the hell is the next book?
Well, it's coming soon. It'll be out in the next couple weeks, hopefully. Knock on my editor's door.
So, basically, nice. So hopefully it'll be in everyone's hands soon enough.
It's written.
It's written. That's the important part.
It's gone through its first edit.
Mm-hmm.
It was mostly not painful.
Okay. Well, then here's some other kind of questions here. This is kind of just some of my own here. When did you start writing?
I've been writing for ever. 30 years.
30 years? So chiseling into stone and such, and
It was right before stone. We did charcoal on old trees.
Oh, okay. That explains some of the ideas.
So like when they talk about save a tree, you really were saving a tree.
There you go. That's the idea. So where do you get your ideas?
So some of the ideas are actually real occurrences that have happened. Others, I take existing lore and take an intelligent view of it. What I mean by intelligent is not have my characters walk into stupid situations. So
let's all split up and go investigate that scary noise by ourselves.
Yes. Oh, and let's go to the cabin in the woods and go swimming in the dark.
How many teenagers were lost that day?
I know.
Every movie. Anyway, I guess so with some other sort of stuff here is we have what is your favorite movie, band, book, genre, color? All in one sentence, please.
What is my movie?
What is your movie, band, book, genre, color? All of it. No. Just what's your favorite movie? We'll start there.
In the genre I write, or just in general?
Anything. Or favorite movie, something you'd like to see.
I always like, it's an old movie called Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Oh, okay.
It's Candle in the Dark is another one.
Okay.
Woman in White. Aside from that, I love Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
I know that one. Yes.
You've had to see a lot.
Yes. I don't think I ever have. I got it for you and never saw it.
Well, and then if I'm in a bad mood, I watch Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. Can't go wrong with Super Cow, etc. I'm not trying that right now. I hear it all the time, but what's kind of your favorite band or bands you like to go back to?
I am a 90s band groupie. I love bands like Tonic and Toad the Wet Sprocket and Gin Blossoms. And lately, moving forward, I'm a big fan of Lifehouse.
Okay.
I don't know why they're not bigger than they are, but I listen to their lyrics when I want to write more sensitive scenes. If I want to write insensitive scenes or more rough scenes, I'm a fan of Linkin Park.
Okay. So you like to have
I like to swear with Chester.
Okay. Swearing is very important, which I'm trying my best not to do. So, what's your favorite Ethne book genre outside of what you write?
I started off in love with the old-fashioned Gothics. These are the ones where the book covers where there's always a woman with her hands up running away from a house. I like that. Barbara Michaels continued the genre a little bit, morphing more into the thriller type of book.
Right.
I like a book that moves fast.
I remember we had a closet full of these things, and I remember being younger and wondering, what did the castles and big mansions ever do to these women? I was always so concerned for these covers.
Well, Gothics are all about the house.
Ah, okay.
Everybody should have a walled-up nun.
Is that just your advice to all of your readers?
Yes. No,
So
not really.
that begs the question: where's our walled-in nun?
Well, not being Catholic, I couldn't tell you. We've not lured a sister here.
Okay. Well, I guess the last little easy thing before we get to reader questions is, what kind of color do you like? What's the simple sort of things in life?
Colors. I love blue.
Blue.
Blue jean blue.
Blue jean blue, so kind of a faded blue, or
Yeah. And I also like midnight blue, the color that the sky turns just. I mean, on a moon lit night, you can't really see the sky, but on let's say a crescent moon night, you can see the sky, especially around here in Illinois. It's a midnight blue that is beautiful.
All right. Oh, last one. Who's your favorite child? Son, I guess.
Did I have children?
Yes.
Oh.
Apparently.
Well, my favorite son is you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. Because I was about to say, if you say someone else, that we'd be in trouble. Okay, so we'll move on to some reader questions now. If there's anything kind of spoilery that anyone asks, we're going to kind of take that to the end and put a little warning beforehand. But I think everyone should be caught up, or mainly our answers should be sufficient for this. Patty wrote into the website basically saying that my next mission, if you wish to accept it, is put on the best webcast ever. Well, mission accomplished. Am I up to the challenge? I do not know. I know I like to talk, and I'm trying my best not to talk over Alexie. And failing right now. So, but her real questions are we going to be seeing any Peeps Lights to introduce us to the Peeps growing family?
Peeps Lights are interesting little books. Basically, they're a novella that gives you a slice, or a one-hot book. I'll give you a slice. I tend not to do any character advancement in those books because some people don't like short books.
Or more like flushing out, maybe?
Well, no, it's just taking, for instance, just taking a haunt that you can't attach to another haunt. You can't build a novel out of. There's just not enough material. What the ghost in the bread box, something like that. If I was to do each, it's very difficult to do each character separately. I am going to be doing, hopefully, a novel. Just call it Murphy. I know he's a favorite of a lot of people.
My idea.
It's the Webguy's idea.
Yeah.
We want Murphy!
Yeah.
Murphy's arrogant enough. But Murphy sees things from a different point of view. He has his own ideas. And perhaps we'll see what we can do with that.
Okay, well, that sounds good. So not so much introducing, but more giving more information about existing characters.
Now, since Patty's not here and I can't ask her, if she's talking more of new characters that have come in, like Tanya Toe and Lorna Granger, yes, I could probably do novellas with them. They are an interesting duo, because they pretty much don't follow any rules. It's great to write characters like that. I don't like rules.
Oh, well, who does? Best part of our rules is breaking them, all right?
Yep. And getting away with
Getting away with it's the best part, yeah, I should say that. Stolen pens write the best, I found.
Especially the red pens.
Especially the red pens. Snake them from the editor. Okay, well, Patty also asks, how do you start a book? And I'd kind of add in my also kind of the idea of what pitfalls do you face when starting a book? Because I know my own fear is the blank word page. So how do you start a book?
This is going to probably jinx me, but I don't experience writer's block. I see a scene in my head and I start from there. I may go back to it. I might write up to it. It might be something at the end. I might not use it at all, but it gives me a start into the book. Basically, in the Haunted series, I really look at what's going on around me. Never Forget, which is the book that's coming up, has a theme. that somebody offhandedly said something, and I went with it. The book after that, Old House, I took an old house that I went and saw. Some of you might have seen it on the website, and said, what if? I think that's what Stephen King does very well. He takes something and says, what if? I do the same thing. But what I tried to do is put very ordinary, normal acting people in impossible situations and try to get them out of it.
Okay. So the other question that was kind of in the same line is, do you just pick an event and come up with how the characters will react, or do you start with the reactions and let the characters go until the event takes shape? Does it start with the characters or the event?
Oh, I think both.
Really?
The different times.
Different times. So sometimes it's characters, sometimes
it's like I might just start with Murphy on the Hill. And, or, him, probably, a lot of times with Murphy interaction, I start with him. With Mia, it's probably she gets herself into trouble. She's impulsive. She has no social skills. She was raised by two inattentive parents. Fortunately, she had had two great godparents, and early on in her life, a grandmother that we will talk more and more about as the series progresses.
See, something for the future looking in. All right, well, our next question comes from a fan of ours, I should say, Janice Ivy.
Jan, I love Anne.
We have featured her on a Peeps Spotlight. She is also an author. There's a wonderful blog post about her and what she likes to do. She said that she has expressed amazement at how quickly you put out such high quality books. So tell us, how in the world do you do it? What kind of schedule do you adhere to?
I'm up at 5:30 in the morning. If I'm consumed by the book, it's probably 4:30 in the morning, and I write to 8:30, and then have breakfast, see if anybody else is alive at the house, Bliss Cottage, and then I write until 3:30. When I am writing, I am totally consumed, with the exception is I do when I get stuck or I'm stumbling. I do go on Facebook. That's when you're going to see me, is when I just can't seem to fit something together. I need an outside whatever, a laugh. Usually the Hoyts are fabulous for that. I look at your stuff, and just it can be pictures that you post of relatives or friends that have sent in. I don't know, just something will just click, and automatically I no longer have the bump in the road.
I could definitely speak to the schedule part. Once or twice, staying up too late, I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh, she's already started.
The longest I've written is 14 hours.
14
and that
hours
was
straight.
Well, I did have bathroom breaks. But then the reason we can put the books out so maybe a little bit ahead of a publishing house is I have a commitment from my editor to, when I am done with the book, I will write the first draft, and then I will set it aside until it's not living in my mind, and then I go back through it and make my corrections, and at that point I get handed over to my editor, the Red Pen, and she takes care of it. And when she is done, the beta reader will start reading. We don't have to fight for time because I've gotten a commitment from both these individuals.
We don't have to fight for time. We just have to fight to get to make sure it gets out there. The most important part after we should mention is when the web guy takes care of it, puts in a nice bow. I think.
Yes.
Most important.
Well, you're taking care of all the
editing, schmediting, right?
Marketing, yes. Who needs commas?
Well, you do apparently. That's right here. So, I'm a fan of run-on sentences myself, so guilty. Okay, well, we have some more questions here. We've got, kind of more of a statement, but it leads me to some questions. Margaret Callow, I'm saying that right, I hope, is another author friend of yours.
Fabulous author.
Yes, we'll have to provide a link for Margaret as along with Janice. And anyway, she says that looking good, Alexie, how I wish I had an Aaron the Webguy Mark II. Or perhaps his clone, such a superb website.
Did she say his clone or clown?
I believe it was clone.
Oh, okay.
And it led me to the question, is there a secret cloning facility in the basement, and does that mean I'm finally getting a brother?
Well, no.
No?
And no.
Yeah, see, the problem...
It's not a secret.
It's not a secret?
But no.
So it's not a secret, but there is...
No, after you were brought into the world, there was petitions. And I promise never to do that again.
Well, the villagers can only come by with the pitchforks and torches so often, right?
No, they're so rude.
Very rude.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there we go there. Hopefully that was illuminating for you, Margaret. Sue R. on the site asks that she has consumed all the wonderful books that you've put out there, and she would like some suggestions for books. She didn't mention if it's really within the genre or not, but really, what kind of books do you suggest, or what are you currently reading?
Well, here's one of the hard things for me when people ask me about books is I don't read when I'm writing because I don't want to pick up another author's meter. And what I mean by meter is when you read a sentence, it flows in a certain way. I don't want to inadvertently app that meter, so I don't read. In the times that are in between books when I, gotta read. There's good stuff out there. Within the genre, Barbara Michaels, she's also writes as Elizabeth Peters, Dean Koontz. You cannot have a better writer. His husbands are so great. He writes these characters, these husbands, and you go like, where is this guy? I want him. It just makes me want to be a better writer. If you like series, mystery series, Martha Grimes' Richard Jury series, and Diane Mott Davidson's Goldie the Caterer series. The reason I like these books, there's humor in them. I need the laughter. I don't think I can get through a day without laughter. And when you're reading mystery books, it's nice to have the laughter and watch the characters banter back and forth. And I think Martha Grimes does an excellent job with that.
For characters. All right. Well, that's a lot of good suggestions. So that kind of also answers her other question of who are your favorite authors, which I believe you've mentioned. And so you really say that, which ones have inspired you the most? That Dean Koontz, you said, especially?
Yes, I think Dean Koontz and Barbara Michaels.
Really? Okay. Yeah. So it seems like...
I would say Stephen King, but I'm not as wordy. I like, he's excellent at description. I'm more of a thriller writer, meaning that I want to move my reader along fast. I don't think that you need to smell the dish rag on the way by the sink. You just need to get through the kitchen. Maybe this is, other people would say, oh, you're not a good writer unless you can smell, taste, see, touch everything. I don't think about that. What I try to do is I put the reader in the situation. I want you to feel like you're standing next to Mia, your back is up against Murphy, or you're just part of Peeps. I want you there, on the earcom with them when they're going through their paces and in their investigations.
Oh, well, there we go. That sounds pretty good. I will say that our next question comes from somebody that I know very well. His name is Jake. Jake is probably one of my best good buddies, and the story behind him is back when Alexie was first starting out, I asked some of my friends, hey, check out this, check out my mom's book, and I was amazed because this one particular individual, Jake, just actually read them instead of just giving me lip service. And I was like, what? So long story short, he became a fan pretty quickly. And he asked a couple of questions here. So what genre would you secretly want to write? A guilty pleasure, something different than what you're doing?
I think
hypothetically.
I think I would do a thriller.
Thriller.
I don't think I'm smart enough for science fiction. I know he wants me to say science fiction.
Jake wants science fiction, yeah.
But I think, I don't know.
Another question he asked is, what character from fiction would you love to insert in the Haunted series? So anything. Frankenstein. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein?
Yes, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I think I love that book. I think it's most underrated. It has it's great. I think Dean Koontz that redid Frankenstein also?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, every author takes a stab at it. But if I could have the monster himself or have both the doctor, because actually, that is Frankenstein, is the doctor.
Yeah.
Have the doctor in there, maybe a modern day Frankenstein,
So something along the lines of sentient...
yes, bringing something from out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that would be great.
That is.
We're not talking plastic surgery type of.
Okay. Well, and Jake has one last question, a very important one, is how can I be as cool as Aaron and as good at video games?
Oh, Jake, there's no one cooler than Aaron.
Yeah. It's tough.
But readers, I'd also like to mention, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but there is a character named Jake, and that's taken from true life. If you're not to that book yet, look out for him. He deserves everything. Everything we put in the book.
I have to admit, every time Jake gets on my nerves, I'm constantly offering suggestions for what should happen to his namesake character.
Yes.
They are embarrassing and such. But yeah, unfortunately, Jake, he can't be as cool as me. Sorry, but
sorry,
hey,
Jake.
Yeah.
You can come live here with us.
The fear is she already likes him better than me. So anyway, I'll get over it, I suppose. Pretty much at this point, that's most questions from our readers is kind of there. I will say that before we kind of get into any spoilers, I would just kind of go and say, if you have anything you'd like to say to your readers, what would it be?
Well, I want to thank you guys. From the start, through Facebook and messages and yelling at me on the street, you've encouraged me. You've slapped my hand when I've gone the wrong direction. You've applauded me. You have prodded me to keep going. You've made writing a very pleasurable experience. It's like I enjoy writing these books. They're my babies, and to have them received so well, it's a real treat. It's a real treat. So thank you. And thank you for telling your friends.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And thank you for minding a couple typos. We can't catch everything.
Yeah. Well, yes, and absolutely, I agree with the sentiment that, frankly, we wouldn't be talking and having this conversation here without all of you. And every time you tell someone, about the books, it's nothing but encourages Alexie to write more. She doesn't stop, by the way, I will have to mention. If she's ever taken a day off or two, it's odd to see. She's writing very, very hard for all of you, so I'll tell you that. And I guess the final question is to the audience here, is that did you enjoy hearing from Alexie? And if you have more questions in the future, if you'd like to hear this sort of thing again, let us know. Comments below and email, whatever you prefer to send. We'd love to hear from you. Questions are always welcome. Vague answers can always be given. So And really, at this point, I guess we're just going to say that this will be the last couple questions are super spoiler.
Spoilers.
So it's hard to say what spoilers might care, but after this point, might be something that could ruin something for you if you're only on book 5 or something.
Oh, and by the way, I applaud everyone that actually reads the books in order. I never ceases to amaze me that somebody will jump in there at book 12 and then yell at me because they don't understand what's going on.
You don't tend to, you don't feel the need to info dump them up to...
No, I kind of think that's a disservice to the reader that has been with me throughout all the books, although, and I have to agree, it has been pointed out to me that a glossary would be nice. And I think that since we're working on book 15, I'm writing book 16 right now, that yes, we will put a glossary in the back so you don't have to go back and reread all the books. Oh, that's another thing that's a big treat. The readers that are reading the books over and over again. I like that. I mean...
That's compliments, at least. Yeah.
Well, it makes me... Yeah, I'm surprised and happy, and if you find some typos, message me.
Certainly, I know I'm usually rereading the best books, which does remind me, people who stuck around this long, we did have a section for binge reading for recommendations for Sue R. from pretty much the team behind Alexie here. Okay, well, on to the spoilers question. Now, Patty had asked, Patty from earlier, is there someone drifting in the ether for Murphy?
Well, geez, I have to ask Murphy. Murphy is deserving of a relationship. I have a problem. I've not found the person for Murphy yet. In the beginning, I know we had T. Murphy, and you wanted Mia and Murphy. Mia and Murphy have not pretty much talked about what they need to talk about. And he was her, which is not much of a spoiler if you've read book 1. He was her knight. He saved her. And they became friends, and in doing so, she saved him. There's a relationship there that is very difficult for anyone to step in on. Ted is very secure man to take on Mia because Murphy comes with Mia. And whoever takes on Murphy will have to realize that Mia, Murphy's hand is on her heart, so has to deal with that. So when the story comes along, we'll see. Maybe in Murphy.
Okay. Well, that's...
Murphy.
Well, maybe. We'll have to see what comes from that. This is another question out there. Is there a character that you started off with them kind of just being along for the ride that you enjoyed writing so much that they had to get beefed up a little bit, or you wanted to write more for this character?
I love Bev. I know you guys hate her. I like this, and I love Bev and Glenda. Bev Cooper is Mia's aunt, who for the longest time, for years, Mia thought was dead. She actually went to her funeral. And then Bev does everything for herself. She's a very self-centered person, but she also speaks plainly, like Glenda Dupree does. This is Glenda Dupree, for those that don't know, is Mike Dupree's very sassy speaking mother. Mm-hmm. Very plain talking, says it as it is. I love to write these characters because they can get away with it. Where if Mia says something, there's always an emotional upheaval to deal with. These women just say what they want. Speak
their mind.
Yes.
Since we enjoy writing for them. Okay, I think the last real spoiler question is really, where do you see the Haunted series going in the future? Space? Argentina?
International.
Speaking of areas.
Old Scottish Highlands. No, I can see them going international. there's a reason why they're going to go international. I don't know if you guys realize there is a story arc that's been running through the series.
Oh.
That I can't say much about because it will spoil it for you. But there are reasons why. Now, Mia has spent a lot of time in the Italian Alps. But the whole group is probably going to be moving on to other places.
Okay.
Not soon.
Not okay. So something to look forward to down the line.
Yes.
All right. And also, I know we mainly talked about the Haunted series, but for your Synth and Lathan fans, what was it like returning to the world of Synth and Lathan after so long?
Synth and Lathan was my first love. Writing, Decomposing, Death by Saxophone, and Discord are very personal. There's a lot of me in those books. I went back and reread, and I could tell they were my first endeavors. There was a lot of correcting that needed to be done. They're not as clean as maybe I'd like them to be, but I went through them and read them all to get the meter back, because even though I write the Haunted series, which is in what we call third person, Synth and Lathan is in first person. There's a whole different way of talking. There's a whole different way of telling the story. For instance, Synth and Lathan, she can't, it's everything from her eyes. Whatever has happened has to be told to her. I can't tell her what's on the other side of the door until she goes on the other side of the door. So it's an interesting. But I loved bringing back the series. It's been people have been asking for it. I started with A Love of Mine, 90s bands. I just played the music until the story came out. And I love putting her back in those situations. The poor girl can't keep a pair of shoes. That's probably has a lot to do with my young life. My parents never could find my shoes. But I like it, and there will be more. So those that think that it's just one book out there will be more.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Apparently she's just not going to stop writing. There is no chance I'm getting dinner. I'll tell you that much. But all right. Well, really, I think that's about everything. I guess the last little thing we'll kind of toss out there is a preview for the upcoming book. Something that you'd like to, you said you mentioned some things before, but preview for the book, something that's coming up. What do you think?
Never Forget is beyond the hauntings that occur in the book, have different type of hauntings. Also, maybe there's going to be a bit of an emotional time that my characters go through. It's about time for them to go through. It's a longer book.
It's your longest yet, isn't it?
Yes, it has elephants in it.
Well, there you go.
I challenged my other ghostwriting friends to put elephants in their book. I don't know if I've done it successfully, but I sure did enjoy it.
Yes, I believe that.
Because as we know, elephants never forget.
It never forgets. That's that ties it all together. Okay, well, that's pretty much everything. We already said our thank yous before, but once again, thank you from Aaron the Webguy.
And thank you from Alexie Aaron.
And hopefully everyone enjoys this, and hopefully we'll be talking like this again soon. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.